podcast. My name is Grace, and today is not Monday. It is Tuesday, May 20th. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting, because that is what I love to do all day, every day. I have various social medias you can follow me on. I have a lot of social medias, but I'm mainly active on Instagram and on Ravelry. I also have show notes, so links to things that I will be talking about will be on my blog, and everything will be listed down below if you are on YouTube, in addition to the link to my blog. I am also a knitting pattern tech editor, so if you know someone who is in need of an editor for an upcoming knitting pattern, I would love to work with you. If you would like to find out more information, you can check out the Graceful Edits tab, which is located on my blog, or you can send me a message or an email or message on Instagram, and I would love to start that conversation with you. It has been a while. We ran into some technical difficulties. We're gonna get into it. So I will not bore you with all of that in the beginning moments of this podcast. We will not start off on a disparaging note. If you would like to grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, something to craft upon, an animal to snuggle, a laundry to fold, whatever it may be, I hope it is either bringing you joy and or rest, or I'm helping you get through a task that is not as pleasant. I have folded all my laundry at this point, so that is very positive. And you can do all those things, none of those things, whatever it may be, and come back and join me for some crafty chat. So my friends, it has been a while, I think a decent amount of time. I'm not going to count the weeks because I just don't want to. But it has been a while since I've recorded. I did record last week, and unfortunately the technical side of things just was not on my side, and I lost the footage that I had filmed, which was very sad. It was a great episode, if I do say so myself. The vibes were great. And I was very sad to have lost it. I was also dealing with a bunch of headache issues and migraine issues last week, so it was just really not a fun time. Unfortunately, that also means that I have moved all my progress keepers, so you can't celebrate with me the immense progress that I made on certain projects, which is just absolutely ridiculous and such a first world problem. But as crafters, I hope you understand and you can relate that that is truly a devastation. I have no proof to show you that I have made so much progress. You're just gonna have to take my word for it. I'm gonna move this out of the way. Rusty's little crinkle mat. So I have quite a bit to show you at this point, and I don't want to drag this on too long because it's just been so long. But I do have two finished objects that I'm going to show you now. And I'm gonna do my best to try to remember everything that I've said, that I did say about them, and want to reiterate what I said. But I'm also not going to focus on that too much because that was in the past, and this is a different week, it's a different day, it's a different episode. We're just starting afresh. So I've got two finished objects. They are older finished objects. I have worn both of them. And one is a pair of socks, one is a shawl. The shawl has also been adopted by Rusty. He loves it quite dearly, so I've had to take it away from him for the time being. And he is now sleeping on his chair in his spot. So first up, my Hiburnal Socks by Summer Lee, of Summer Lee Knits or Designs. I knit this as a knit along with a friend. She gifted me this yarn. It is Suburban Stitcher in the sparkle base in the Lucky You colorway. It was a super fun knit and would make these again in a heartbeat. The nice thing about these is that these are mock cables, my friends. If you are not interested in committing to full-on cables in your socks, because they take a long time, which they do, mock cables are the way to go, because you get the look without the commitment. And that being said, there's nothing wrong with cables and socks, and goodness knows I'm going to be doing cables in my socks for sure in the future, but this is a nice alternative. There are several versions of this pattern as well. Summer has, I think, so she has this fingering weight one, there's a DK weight one, and then there's a slouchy version, which is adjustments to the leg. I followed it to pattern. I changed up the heel to be a shadow wrap heel, which is my preferred. As you can see, we do love it. And yeah, I am very happy with these. I wore them with sneakers the other day. At this point, it was a while ago, but last week when I recorded, it was recently. They look so cute with my sneakers, and I need to do that more often, because they're socks and they're meant to be worn. Definitely falls into the don't save the nice things, use them category. So I will be trying to factor that into my outfits in the future, except when it's insanely hot, which it is today. But if it's like bearable, I'll make it work. So the Hiburnal Socks by Summer Lee, would highly recommend this sock pattern. I will be making it again. I think it'd be super cute with self-striping. So yes, also very easily memorizable. Memorable. It's very memorable, so it's not one that you have to constantly be looking at your pattern, which is great. So that's finished object number 1. Finished object number 2, my friends, is honestly my pride and joy right now. I am so happy with how this turned out. This is my Analogous shawl by Shanalines Designs. This is a test knit. It is coming out sometime in June, I believe, and I used an unknown yarn, which is the neutral color, and then I used my Handspun for the contrasting color. So I'm super happy with this. I think it is so gorgeous. I love the center increase, the spine, and how it just looks so good. It was so creative on Shayna's part. And I love knitting it, would make it again. And Rusty loves it, which is not a requirement, but it's always a plus. I've had it laying on the ottoman that's part of our sectional, and he has just been really snuggling on it a lot, and it's really, I need to wash it again, honestly. It's so covered in cat hair. The handspun that I used every single bit of it, except for a little bit that's going into my jelly roll blanket. But I used most of it, so I don't have any to show you. But the fiber was Malabrigo Nube in the Arco Iris colorway. I mentioned last time, or when I recorded last, which I know that you guys didn't see, but when I tried to record last time, I did mention that the Arco Iris that this is over 10 years old. So this Arco Iris is not the current Arco Iris. And I say that just because that colorway from Malabrigo kind of changes from time to time ever so slightly. It's still generally the same colorway, but there's some nuances that change, and so it's just not always going to be the same. And especially since this one was so long ago. But I love this. Another really fun thing is that I love the wrong side. I think it's super cute. Like, it's just so satisfying. I love it. Very snuggly. And yeah, I am just so happy with how this turned out. So yes, the Analogous shawl by Shanalines Designs. This is a test knit. It has an I-cord bind off if you're interested. And it should be coming out sometime in June. So keep your eyes peeled for that. You do not have to use Handspun if you don't want to. But if you have the opportunity to, whether it's yours or someone else's, I would highly, highly recommend it. It is such a fun experience to knit with Handspun of some sort. So, would recommend. And that is my other finished object. So, look at me go. So now we're going to get into the works in progress, which there are many, and just enjoy that. So let's just get right into it. So first up, my friends, let's do a little bit of organization here. We do also have yarn acquisitions and fiber acquisitions, to show. So I've got 2 test knits going currently, and let's just talk about this first one. In the vein of socks, because we love socks. I am test knitting for, it is either Briana or Briana, Arlene, on Instagram, and that is her kind of design and name as well. I've been a follower of hers on Instagram for a long time and have been a huge fan of her patterns, but and I recently signed up for her test knitting calls, which is very exciting. She put out a call and she posted on Instagram this most beautiful pair of socks, and I was like, I don't care what's going on, which there wasn't really anything going on, but in case there was, I didn't care because I needed to knit these socks. And I finished the first one, and that, my friends, is, I think I just bumped that, I'm so sorry. That, my friends, is the Mesa Dreams socks. And these are just absolutely gorgeous, all over color work. We can get this to focus. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, we lost it. We're just having a grand old time. Come on. I believe in you, phone. There we go. So, oh, this is really not cooperating today. Last time I was on it, it was working just fine, and this time it's not. This is so frustrating. Oh. So, like I said, this is an all over color work sock. This is obviously top down. Or maybe not, obviously. It is top down. I was able to switch out the heel that she included in the pattern, which was a forethought heel, I believe. I always get the afterthought and forethought heel confused, even though I know that the processes are very different. But I think it's a forethought heel. But I was able to switch it out for a shadow wrap heel, which is really nice. I appreciate that she let me do that, so it will fit really nicely. My yarn is this unknown brown, which it is brown, and I believe I got this from a D-stash from a friend a long time ago. And the other colorway is my favorite, like truly, truly one of my all-time favorites. I think this is the most beautiful rosy color, and this is Rosewood by Suburban Stitcher. I like that it's darker. I like that it's really rosy, truly rosy. And it's got little speckles of like actual red here and there, and like a maroony red, which is really pretty. It's just very, the tones of this yarn are just gorgeous. I love this. This was part of my bubble cardigan, how I ended up with that. So I do have my second one started. I just don't have the color work started, but I do have the cuff. I've got a little baby cuff right there. I'm just plugging along, having a grand old time, as we do with the 2x2 rib. And yes, I am so excited. Another really fun thing that I got me really excited about knitting this pair of socks was the picture that Briana posted, is that the colors are mirrored, or the reverse of them. So obviously we have dark brown for my cuff and my heel in the background. And this one, the cuff will be the Rosewood colorway and will be the main color and be the heel and the toe as well. So I am so excited to see how that works out because I love this one. I foresee a lot of really fun color combinations. I would make this again. This knits up so quickly. I would also say, if you are new to colorwork socks and you are uncertain, there are so many amazing patterns out there, do not get me wrong. But if you're interested in this one, and if you really love this one, I think this would be a really great one to start with, because the floats are super small. There's nothing more than 3 stitches, which is very nice. And it goes in these little sections. And so you're not focusing too long on each motif. I think each motif is maybe no more than 10-ish rows, something like that. I'm probably wrong. I do think that is incorrect, but roughly around there. So you're not knitting on one thing for too long, which I feel like just adds to the potato chippiness of the pattern. Obviously you could lengthen the leg if you wanted to, but I follow this to pattern. And very easy to work on your tension and play around with how you hold your yarn with color work and knitting socks, because that's different. It feels different than when you knit color work and you're not knitting socks and you're knitting on something else. So would highly recommend the Mesa Dreams socks. I cannot remember when they're coming out. I think there's some coming out sometime in June. But either way, you need to follow Briana on Instagram and check out her patterns. She's got a lot of really beautiful ones, and I've got ideas swirling around in my head for future ones as well. I knit the leg in, adding all the time up, I think maybe 4 hours, 5 hours, maybe less than that. And that doesn't really happen a whole lot unless it's a vanilla sock. And so when that happened, I was like, whoa. I love this. This is really nice. So yeah, Mesa Dreams by Briana, Arlene. And this is also residing in a new bag that I just purchased for myself from Elena of Rose and Seams Bags. I love this. It's so cute. It's kind of autumnal because we want those autumnal vibes since it's so freaking hot, without being like blatantly autumnal. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but if I'm trying to be a little discreet about how irritated I am with the summer and the heat, this is nice. You know, I don't know. That's just how I feel, but whatever. Moving along, this is nice because last time I recorded unsuccessfully, this didn't exist. I hadn't started it, and it was part of my to-do list post-recording when I lost all my footage, to wind up my yarn, which is what I was doing when I lost all my footage. I'm gonna try not to keep bringing that up. I'm not upset about it or anything. So I finished, obviously, the Analogous shawl for Shanalines Designs, and I joined the Cowl version of this part of this collection. It's called the Coexist Cowl, and it's got the same texture. And I spun up some yarn for this as well, and then went shopping in my stash for the coordinating color, which I do have the ball band this time, so it's not a mystery. How nice of me. I am really happy with how this is turning out. I think it's really gorgeous. It's not as accurate as I would like. I'm not seeing It's more pinky purpley in person than what I'm seeing on my phone. But we've got this slight increase, which is very fun, every so often. And we start with the provisional cast on. So it will be an infinity scarf. And there's going to be some additional shaping to add some interest to it. But I just really love how this looks. I love this like reverse stockinette stitch or something like that. I don't even know if that's what you would call it, because it's not reverse garter stitch. I do know that, but too many technical terms. This is the wrong side. I think this looks super cool too. Depending on how much I have on my Handspun, I may be cutting a few of the repeats short. So this is my main color, or my non-Handspun color. And this is from the Uncommon Thread. This is the sport, it's a sport base. And this little thing is kind of falling apart. But I really love this color. I've had this in my stash for forever. And again, we're using the nice things. We are not saving them for a rainy day. We are using them and enjoying them. So this is nice. I'm glad to be using this. And then also, here is my Handspun, which is a very loosely, I am holding this delicately because I do not want it to tangle. But I do believe that this is truly beautiful. I'm so happy with how this turned out. This was a braid from Three Waters Farm that I have had in my fiber stash for a very long time. What is the colorway name? It was like Hot Intentions or something like that, or Hot something. This is a fiber blend that I'm not as comfortable spinning, and because, as we're all aware, my spinning is a little sporadic at the moment, but because of that, this fiber blend, which was BFL and Tussa Silk, I had a bit of a struggle with this. Not in a bad way, it was definitely a learning curve, and it was definitely like I definitely did get frustrated, if I'm being completely honest. I got frustrated at times, but it was okay. Like, it just wasn't being spun up like my Malabrigo Nube was. So this is not nearly as consistent as I had wanted it to be, but that's okay. That's the beauty of Handspun. I'm not dwelling on that. It's still working out just fine. But because of that and the thick and thinness of it, my yardage is probably not going to go as far as I had wanted to, or as I did with my Analogous shawl. So I'm still happy with how it's turning out. I still think it's gorgeous. And again, autumnal vibes, we're here for them. Even though I can't wear this now, except for the 5 minutes that I'm gonna wear it when I take pictures for this and start sweating profusely and then immediately take it off. And then I'll wear it when I actually need to. It's gonna be great. I'm so excited. But I think this is gorgeous. I'm super happy with how this is turning out, and we're just having a grand old time. Again, if you have the opportunity at any point in time to knit with Handspun, whether it be your own or someone else's, or something that kind of creates that effect, there are plenty of yarn companies out there that do that. Would highly recommend. It's quite a magical experience. But there's something about knitting with something that you have spun yourself, or you know who spun it. It's just like, ooh, we're adding another step to this process that I am involved in, and that's really fun. I really love that. So that is the Coexist Cowl by Shanalines Designs. That's also coming out sometime in June. And yes, those are all my test knits currently. I'm doing really good on my test knits, my friends. I have, there have been a couple that have popped up that I've been like so close to offering myself up for, and then I don't, because boundaries. And there are other things that I really, really want to work on. So I'm proud of myself for not overcommitting and truly enjoying what I'm working on and not overwhelming myself with deadlines in regards to this. Other deadlines, that's a whole other thing. But with test knits, I don't need that in my life currently. So moving along to some socks that I've been working on. I'll just talk about these very briefly. But these are my Kindred Spirit socks they're just plain vanilla. Love to see it. This yarn is called Kindred Spirits from Mustache Yarns. This was a birthday gift to me from my parents several years ago, I think. And I am, again, using the nice things. I am enjoying what I have, and I'm gonna love these socks so much, my friends. Oh, so there's a lot to say, but there's really not a whole lot to say. This is the first pair for myself that I just went ahead and used the self-striping yarn for my shadow wrap heel. So I did not go the contrasting route, which I think is great. I'm taking full advantage of the yardage that I have. One really incredible thing about Mustache Yarns and her skeins, if you are unfamiliar, Stacy, who lives in San Antonio, the skeins are two 50-gram skeins twisted together. So if you are wanting yarn and socks that match exactly, which if you want that and if you strive for that in your socks, I love that for you. I do not love that for myself. I don't want that. But if you want that, I love that for you. So I have just been working on the 150-gram skein of yarn for these two bits. One full sock, obviously, and half of one because I'm working on the heel right now. So I will finish out this first one, and I have the second one ready to go, which I will do a little bit of yarn management to make sure that it lines up with where this ends, which shouldn't be too bad actually, because it looks like the blue is right there. How convenient. But I need to double check that. So I'm excited just because I feel like my sock game has slowed down a little bit for no particular reason. And I'm not quite sure why, but I'd like to get these done. And maybe it really hasn't slowed down, but it just feels like it has. I don't know. One thing I really love is that this skein of yarn came with a little baby progress keeper, and I'm gonna try and show it off because it's just so cute. It came with a little carrot. Come on. I believe in you. There we go. That's so cute. If you are unfamiliar, Kindred Spirits is a reference to Anne Shirley of Anne of Green Gables, a beloved book series by Ellen Montgomery, one of my all-time favorites, currently doing a reread. Do not talk to me about Anne with an E. I do not, nope. If you love that, again, I love that for you. I do not love that for myself. It is truly not, no. Give me the Megan Fellows one from the 90s, whatever. I don't know. That is truly the only film version of Anne of Green Gables, in my opinion. But again, that's my opinion. It's very subjective, and really, in the grand scheme of things, that's not a huge deal. So, but I love Anne of Green Gables. Those are my socks. Moving along, in here, my friends, a magical thing has happened. A magical, truly. Oh my goodness. my friends, this project is a slow moving project. It's moving much slower than I thought it was going to, which is really not exactly what I was wanting, but that's okay, because when I wear it, it's going to be magical. And that is my Misurina tee by Caitlin Hunter, Boylan Knitworks. As you can see, I have divided for the sleeves. Everyone, I made it through that chart. It is completed, and I am not gonna be doing it again. It was a lot. I would be very mindful and be aware of what you were getting yourself into when you knit this pattern. It's a very well written pattern, but at one point you are doing lace, cables, and color work all at the same time. Your floats are incredibly long throughout the entire yoke, which can be kind of irritating while you're cabling. And again, when I wear it, it will be magical. And now I'm just working on the body, which is feeling like it's taking eons and eons of time. But again, details. You have the option to go or choose a body that is plain, a body that has eyelet texture, or a body that has pearl bump texture. And because of the yarn, and because I wanted to throw in an extra element of sorts, I opted for the pearl bump texture. It's really not that hard. It's very easy to do, but I do have to pay attention. So it's not like I can just willy-nilly, but you can see the pearl bump texture there. It does fit really well. I did try it on. I know what I'm measuring to for the body. It's all good. It's gonna be great when I wear it. Yeah. So what is my yarn, my friends? My yarn is Sandnes Garn, Tynn line, Lino, whatever. So that is my yarn. Obviously I have white as my main color, and I have a very, very, very light pink as my contrasting color. Very subtle, but you can still see the pattern, which I'm very happy for. There were certain points throughout this chart where I would look at it and be like, I am doing this for nothing. You can't see the color work. Why did I make this choice? But you can. It is clearly visible. And I'm very happy with it. I think it's going to be gorgeous. And I'm really happy with the fabric that I'm making. So we're just plugging along, working on the body until it's done. And I'm gonna do my best, my friends. I know, because I know myself, that this is gonna be one of those projects where I am going to be dying to end it early, even though I know that I would like it more, and it would be more of a successfully worn, frequently worn top if I knit it to exactly the length that I need it, even though it's gonna take longer. We're gonna have a bit of a struggle with this one, my friends. But that's okay. You know, we're plugging along. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everybody has these projects. Like, it would not be realistic if I went through my knitting life, my crafting life, absolutely loving and adoring every single thing that I was making. I know I'm gonna love it when it's done. I know that for certain, because I've tried it on. And yeah, it's just not real. It's like pretending that everything is always sunshine and roses. It's not always that way. And it's okay that it's not, because again, that's unrealistic. And exhausting to pretend. So we're not gonna do that. I'm not gonna pretend that I've loved knitting this thing. And that's no fault of the pattern. It's no fault of the pattern. It's no fault of the yarn. It just happens to be the combination of everything and my personal preferences of how I do things. So don't let me deter you from knitting this pattern. Just be aware of what you're getting into. Not a beginning pattern by any means, but gorgeous, beautiful. So many incredible versions out there, but it's a lot of work. So keep that in mind. Moving along, let's talk about something really simple, really simple, and really not a whole lot to show you. My friends, this is probably the saddest thing about me moving my progress keeper, because I had so much progress on this thing. So much so that it was a lot. And that's my jelly roll blanket. And I believe, just because my progress keeper was maybe somewhere in here before I moved it, but I finished, well, no, it had to have been further down. I think it was like maybe here, but I finished my second column. Yay! And I've started my third. Are we so happy? I'm so happy. I love this so much. And having this simple project, I have several simple projects going on, but this thing that I like, there's no deadline, there's no nothing, there's no pattern I am following a pattern, but in general, I don't need to look at a pattern. It's really okay. I'm just doing whatever I feel like in the moment. It's been really nice, and I just love seeing this come together as I'm working on it. So this is a pattern designed by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. I was highly inspired by Eunice of Therapy by Craft. I saw hers. There are so many beautiful versions out there, so please go look at all of them. But she was posting about hers at the beginning of the year, and I felt particularly inspired. So I have joined the Jelly Roll Club and having a grand old time. How many columns I am doing, I don't know. And that is something that I need to figure out soon, really, I don't need to figure that out soon, but I need to figure out at some point. So that was my jelly roll. Not a whole lot to share, because I'm not going to go through every single yarn that I've used. Also because I can't remember every single yarn that I've used. So, my jelly roll. We love a good blanket. We've got 2 projects left, my friends. No, we've got 3 projects left. Because I moved this one over here. We'll talk about this one real quick. I made incredible progress on my Elton Cardigan by Joji Locatelli. And you wouldn't know because I moved my progress keeper. Again, I'm not upset or anything. I had the opportunity, so much progress, right? I'm literally almost done with the body. I've only got a few inches left. We had the opportunity a couple weeks ago, maybe at this point almost a month ago, to go and watch Revenge of the Sith, episode 3 of Star Wars in theaters for the special re-release. And Sam, my husband, if you are new, is a big Star Wars fan. And I enjoy Star Wars as well, but he knows all the little detailed questions that you might ask, and he knows all that stuff. So he's truly a big fan, and it was so much fun. It was really great. We had a great time, and it was fun to see this movie in theaters, because it came out in the early 2000s. But I worked on this while we watched it, so I got a lot of knitting done on this, and it was really great. And for some reason I was worried that the twisting of the yarns on the sides was going to be an issue, but I've reached this point in this project, which I did for my Elton pullover, of just not caring about carrying my yarns up the side, because my friends, you're going to be picking it up anyway for the button band. No one's gonna see it. And the only thing to be concerned about is making sure that it's not too tight, which I know it's not. but I don't need to be twisting stuff all the time, especially in a movie theater when it's dark and we're trying to have a relaxing time, and I'm trying just to like knit endlessly on this stockinette. But it's great. I got a lot done, and since I recorded and showed it to you last time, which obviously you didn't see, I have made 0 progress. But I am almost done. I'm only a few inches away from the body being done, or starting the ribbing, I think. So that's very exciting. The Elton Cardigan by Locatelli. I can't remember if I said who designed it. My yarn is Cascade Heritage in something Christmas red, and peach pearl or pearl peach. Some order of those 2 words. And I was inspired to make this cardigan because a creator that I follow on Instagram and on YouTube, Erica Taylor Creative, she made an Olga cardigan by Petite Knit out of pink and red. And I was like, I need a pink and red cardigan, but I need it to be fingering weight. And this is what I'm going to do. And the rest is history. So I'm so excited to have this. I'm excited to wear it. I think it's gonna be so cute. And I'm thinking about wood buttons. I don't know. I think also white, like a pearly white would be really cute. But I don't know. I've got time to think about it. So there's that. And next up, we have my Stromboli. Another Caitlin Hunter. This one, much more successful in my mind than the Misurina, but we won't hold it against the pattern. It's okay. I got so much progress. It looks so sad. I haven't made any progress on this since I showed it to you. Oh, it's so frustrating. You guys just have to believe me, okay? Because I truly made, like, I think I was like right there. I made so much progress. Like, a lot. Because this is a bottom-up sweater, and my rows are miles and miles long. But I'm having a really great time when I was working on this consistently, which clearly I haven't in a week. I'm loving this. This is gonna be stunning. This is exactly what I was wanting. This is going to be amazing. Part of my summer tea collection is growing, and I'm so excited about this. The yarn that I'm using is MyYak Fior de Lino, which I got from Maker and Stitch, I think last year actually. But this is a really nice blend. It's got linen in it, so there's an aspect of it being kind of summery. It's got a beautiful drape, but it is mostly wool and yak. So there is that, but we make things work in Houston. We do what we have to do. You know, to make things work when it feels like we are melting off the face of the earth because it is so freaking hot. Man, I'm just feeling a lot of like really strong feelings about not very positive things. I'm so sorry. Feeling particularly sassy today, apparently. And we're talking about weather in not the designated weather section, so I do apologize. But yes, my Stromboli, I've got the pattern memorized at this point, which is really nice. We'll see how I do after not working on it for a week. May need a little refresher, but this is really great. I've only got a few repeats left. I do need to double check and make sure about the length of this. If I need to add any repeats to the body to make it the length that I want, because again, we need to put in the time, we need to go through the processes to make sure we create something that is going to have a lot of successful, frequent wears. Exactly. It's my crafting mantra for the year, apparently. It's really long. It's not what it is. Oh my friends, it's just crazy. Just truly crazy. So this last project has been the main focus for a while. And I have really not been able to think about anything else, and honestly has kind of put a slump into my crafting a little bit, because it's all I've been working on, and it's all I really just want to work on. And I hope that you'll see, and maybe you'll understand why when I show it to you. I'm adding to my summer tea collection, my friends. We've been over this. This is just what is going on this year in the summertime, and I have just powered through this project, and I am having the time of my life. You may remember this yarn. I showed this to you a couple weeks ago, maybe the last episode that you saw. I don't know. This is Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in the Poppy Blue colorway that I got from Maker and Stitch. I love this color. This is gorgeous. And I know that this is one of the really popular colors this year. And love that. I don't have anything that is like this color in my wardrobe or my knitting wardrobe. I love it. I also really love this yarn. I have been wearing my Tolsta tee that I finished that is also made out of 100% pure silk, but it's a different yarn. It is so nice. So nice. Especially in this heat. And so I'm so excited to have another piece that is made out of 100% silk, though the yarn is a different brand. So, and that's just because I really like this color. So, oh wow, this is so gorgeous. I am so happy with this. My friends, my beloved Colette Tea by Sari Nordlund. I have powered through. I cast on, even though I had no business to, but I needed a pick-me-up. It was needed, and I did it. And I'm now working on the body, and I'm almost done with the body. Honestly, I need to try it on. But here's the back, the beautiful back. We've got an armhole. It's just so gorgeous. I'm so over the moon with this, my friends, and how it is turning out. And I cannot wait to wear it. I cannot wait. I need to wear it now. I'm trying to get it done soon, also because we have a trip coming up and I would really love to be able to wear it. It is bringing me so much joy, truly. And another positive thing, so I've made the Colette scarf. I made that last year, 2 years ago. I've made it. And for some reason, because of like the increases and decreases and things like that, I did not enjoy knitting that pattern, which would surprise you about why I'm knitting the exact same pattern. It's just on a sweater. And I'll tell you, I don't know why. I don't know why, but this time around, I have the pattern memorized, my friends. I don't know what happened. I am just chugging along. Don't need to see the pattern. I'm doing it until I reach the length that I want, and then I'm gonna do the ribbing, and then I'm gonna be done. And then I've got the sleeves that are short, and I got my neckline, which is short, and then I'm done. I'm so excited. Can we even, like, this is just the most beautiful blue, and I am so over the moon. Which I know I've said multiple times at this point. I've said that I'm over the moon, and I've said that I'm excited. So I apologize for that. But I'm so excited to be over the moon. It's just gone quickly because I'm knitting this on an 8. Is this an 8? Oh, yeah. I'm knitting this on an 8. It's going really quickly. I love the fabric that it's creating. I love the way it looks. I love the way it smells. I love the color. I love everything. This is exactly what I had in mind. And since this pattern has truly been floating around in the ether of my creative brain for what feels like years, to finally be making one in this color is just like a chef's kiss. I just can't. I can't. And I feel like I'll make another one. I'd really like to make another one. Maybe make a woolly one. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'm loving this one. And I love the pattern. Again, the Colette tee by Sari Nordlund. Love it. Love it. And that's all that I have for my works in progress. And I've got a few acquisitions that we're going to go through kind of speedily so I don't have... I don't run into any other technical difficulties. Ugh. But again, I'm not upset or anything. So let's get into the yarn acquisitions and future plans and things like that. So my friends, what's funny is that I have more this week to share than I did last time that I lost the footage of. So I have more acquisitions to show you, so that's good. There are things that I haven't covered yet. But we'll go in order of obtaining these things. I've mentioned, I posted this on my Instagram. So again, if you have seen this, or if you're interested in like what I post, what I get up to during the week when I'm not recording, or by accident lose my footage and can't upload, Instagram is the place to be, is where to follow me. So you can keep up to date if you're interested. But if you're not, that's okay. I also understand. I am so excited about Tour de Fleece this year. I am just really... I need to do more planning, and I need to like actually write things down or like make an actual plan that I will remember, opposed to just like seeing something and be like, that's what I'm going to do, because of course I'm not going to remember that. There are too many ideas floating around in my brain for me to be able to do that successfully. Unless it's the Colette tee, in which case that is just gonna be sticking in my brain for forever. But I purchased some fiber. I haven't purchased fiber in a really, really long time, and I forgot the joy that it brings to purchase and receive fiber. So there was a post, what am I trying to say? There's a team being hosted by Casey of Young Folk Knits, and I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on the other name. I will put it here. I'm so sorry, and I didn't bring my computer over or other ways to look things up, and obviously I'd look it up on my phone, but I can't. So again, I'm so sorry. Here's the name of the other person hosting this team with Casey. They posted, they worked with a dyer, Yarn Jam, who does incredible fiber. I've only seen it online. I've never seen it in person. And this colorway for their team, which is called Fleece Force, I had to get it. And not only did I get one, my friends, I got two. I got two of them. And not only did I get two of them, I got them on the confetti tweed base, which is just incredible, my friends. Is just stunning. Let's see if we can do this. Come on, phone, I believe in you. Boop. And, oh man, you had it for a hot second. There we go. I think it's got it. So I am so excited about this, and I don't know what I'm going to do. This also is part of the planning, but like, can we even? It's just so gorgeous. And with the tweed. I am so excited. I was talking with Casey shortly after I got these about what I was going to be doing with them, and I have a couple ideas, but the one that really just keeps sticking out to me is doing a combo spin of some sort and just having it be a simple sweater, like a Felix or something like that, to really let this shine. And I feel like that, that would really bring me a lot of joy. I think whatever I do with this, it's gonna bring me joy. I know that for certain. But knowing me, I think it would be particularly special if I just let this yarn shine however it turns out. And but the fact that I have 2 of them means there's more that I can do. So I have 8 ounces. And I do have 8 ounces of a white neutral color. So I could spin these as singles and apply that with the neutral color and do it that way. That might be fun. I don't know. We're gonna think about it, but I'm so excited about this. So again, this is the Yarn Jam from Yarn Jam. This is the Fleece Force colorway. I don't know if there's any more available because this was like a pre-ordery type drop, and I think it was very popular. There were also other fiber blends and things, but I was just really intrigued by the confetti tweed, because I've never spun anything with tweed before, but I'm not foreseeing it to be an issue, so, or tricky. But even if it is, it'll be a learning experience. It'll be so much fun. I'm so excited. So that's for Tour de France, which I believe is happening in June or July sometime. That is coming up. That's crazy. It'll be here before we know it. So next up, I got a skein from Mustache Yarns that's called Space Wizard. And I believe this was part of the May the 4th, like May the 4th be with you, of course. And Stacy released or was like promoting a bunch of her Star Wars colorways, which of course makes sense. And as I have mentioned earlier, Sam is a big Star Wars fan. And the cool thing about this skein is that, to me, it's very similar. Oh, come on. My phone. Do better. There we go. Oh, goodness, we were really struggling today. She has a colorway called Eras, which is Taylor Swift inspired. Each stripe is inspired by one of her albums, and so you can walk through and see the eras of Taylor Swift. This is basically the same, or not basically, it's kind of the same thing, but with lightsabers of Jedi Knights. And there's the process of like fading and the colors that get paired with the lightsabers, and it is very cool. And I knew that that would be a very special thing for Sam. Sam is very knitworthy. He is truly very knitworthy. He loves socks, which I really love that he loves socks. And another thing that he really appreciates, which I appreciate that he appreciates, is that the things like this, that the yarn is also like has a special theme or something like that. He also like knows that that is part of the gifting process, because obviously I've thought of him of knowing that he likes Star Wars. This is Star Wars themed. This is has to do with something that I know that he thinks is special within Star Wars, and then I make him a pair of socks out of it. I know he's gonna love it. I have another one of Stacy's yarns that's from her National Parks collection from it's called Big Bend. Big Bend is one of his favorite national parks. That kind of thing. I appreciate that he really knows that that is part of the creative process, and he appreciates it. So this is going to be started soon. I'm not quite sure when. These could be his birthday socks. His birthday's in July. There will be plenty of time to do that. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a pattern with this. I hadn't thought that far. He only has one pair of pattern socks, and they're not really like that pattern. They've just got texture to them. The rest of them are vanilla socks, so we will see. Who knows? I will report back. You will find out, because he does not really watch the podcast, which is okay. It makes it easy for me, because then I could talk about stuff like this. This leads me to my brand new yarn acquisitions. This past Saturday, I went to Craftique Studios, which is a local yarn shop to me. It is very close, and it is a wonderful yarn shop. It's got lots of really fun yarn options of different spectrums. You've got hand dyeds, you've got big box, you've got all this kind of stuff. Grace, the owner, is very sweet, and she has done a really good job of putting everything together. There was a trunk show there of yarn from a chick that knits, who I have mini skeins from. I got mini skeins from her from DFW last year, I think. I'm pretty sure it was last year. And I'm making my bubble bandana out of it. But anyway, there was a trunk show from her yarn at Craftique, which is super exciting. So I went to Craftique with a few friends to see this trunk show and hang out, and it was very fun. So I got one skein of the assigned pooling sock yarn. I was reading sock and I was thinking yarn. Assigned pooling yarn from a chick that knits. Oh my goodness, please. Please. There we go. It's such a cute label. Another thing, I love her yarn, and she's also from Oklahoma, which I'm originally from Oklahoma, so that is fun. This is the Songbird colorway, and these colors are just gorgeous. I am so excited about this. I don't really know, I've not done an assigned pooling project necessarily, but I know that this would work obviously for other things. So I may wait and see once I wind this up how I'm feeling. But I just love these colors. I love the dark purple, like a blackberry color, and this, just these neons, and this teal in here I think is just so gorgeous, and this bright happy yellow. Like, it's gonna, whatever it's gonna be really fun. So excited about this. And my other purchase, which was not from a chick that knits, but is adding to my summer top collection, because that's what we're doing. I'm in my summer tea era. I got some more of the Santa's Garn Tynn line in this very beautiful blue colorway. And I'm going to be making a Relaxed Tee by Amy Scher, which came out a few months ago. It's just a regular tee. It's got short sleeves, and it's got very nice, like, garter stitch stripe texture-y type things. Raglan, top down, very well written, lots of information in the pattern. And I say that, and I don't have the pattern yet, but I say that because my mom just finished hers, which is really exciting. Hers is a little bit more on the woolly side. She used a strand of silk, 2 strands of silk. She used some form of silk from Maker and Stitch, and then she also held a mohair with it, and it is just the most glorious thing. It looks so luxurious, and it's a really beautiful, like, putty. So yes, I'm very excited. I was very inspired, and I really love hers, and also I know that it's gonna be really beautiful in this yarn, and I still love this yarn, even though I've had a struggle with just the general project of my Misurina tee, but it'll all be okay. It's not the fault of the yarn or the pattern. I'm very excited. I did get more of this. I just brought over 2 skeins to show you. But the color is 6032. Very creative. So we love this blue. I'm very excited. Again, a very popular color this summer, I think. So, and that is that, my friends. I need to go. The space on my phone is almost full. And thanks for bearing with me while I took extra time off for no reason and then had to take more time off because of technical difficulties. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you being patient. Like I said at the beginning, I have social media, I have show note information, and I have tech editing information. If you are interested in anything, have questions, or I've forgotten to include anything, please let me know. Or if you just like to say hi, please feel free to send me a message on Instagram. I'd love to chat. Clearly I have lots of crafty plans, and I'm excited to see what all goes down, what gets finished, what gets more progress. I'm not sure. The recording schedule is going to be a little off for the next couple of episodes, and I'm going to figure it out. So please just bear with me for a little bit longer. I'm so sorry. But here I am recording, and I'll figure it out. It'll be okay. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. I know there's so many other knitting podcasts out there, and I appreciate that you choose mine to spend time with me, and clicking like, subscribing, commenting, all that kind of stuff. The algorithm moves in mysterious ways, and we have no idea how it works. So every little bit and thing like that really helps. Not just me, but other creators as well. Yeah, if you have crafty plans, I hope that they are so successful. If you are entering into the summer seasons where you live, I hope that you are staying cool. Yeah, just as we enter into the craziness of summertime. I'm not counting down until when Christmas is or anything like that. Why would I be doing that? I may be. I have literally a couple friends have sent me, friends that don't know each other have sent me things on Instagram that are like, send this to a friend who needs Christmas cheer. And those are my favorite things. It brings me so much joy, and I also love that both of them, again, who do not know each other, did that. So if you're watching this, thank you. I loved it. It brought me so much joy. I gotta go, and I'm gonna go get this started to be edited so we don't have any other technical difficulties. But thank you so much for being here. You are wonderful. You are enough, and I will see you all next time. Bye.